What was supposed to be an evening of fun at a demolition derby in Deer Lodge Sunday evening suddenly turned into a tragedy.
The Bozeman School District has a record amount of students in it this year, but how is everyone going to fit into a classroom?
Good morning to you. It's coming up on 6:31 here on your Tuesday. I'm Missy O'Malley with Chet Lehman. Matt Elwell has our work week forecast here in just a few moments. The town of Deer Lodge is in shock after a woman was killed and several others were injured on Sunday night at a demolition derby.
MTN's John Amy has the latest details this morning from Deer Lodge.
An evening of fun during the demolition derby at the Tri-County Fair in Deer Lodge quickly turned tragic when one of the vehicles in the contest barreled into a crowd of spectators.
He received a blow which disabled his vehicle and he lost control. The car exited the arena, jumped a fence, and landed on some bleachers, injuring multiple people.
A Deer Lodge woman was killed and 6 others were hospitalized in the incident. It was a chaotic scene following the devastating crash.
There were people trapped underneath the vehicle at the time.
This tragic accident occurred right next to where EMS workers were stationed. And that was fortunate, according to the sheriff, because their quick response was able to save more lives.
Because of the immediate patient care, they certainly were able to stabilize those patients that were transported to the hospital. It was certainly a chaotic and tragic scene, but a lot of people pulled together in a very short amount of time and were able to help a lot of folks.
People in the small town of Deer Lodge were still in shock the day after the incident.
Everybody's kind of like, what happened? You know, you hear about it. It's like it's an incident. It's not just, you know, like it affects the town. I mean, it's a small town. You know everybody.
In Deer Lodge, John Amy, MTN News.
Now, 2 of the injured people have been released from the hospital. 3 remain in stable condition, and another was taken by helicopter to Missoula for treatment. Authorities have not released the name of the woman who was killed.
6:33 now. Meteorologist Matt Elwell joins us. Warm is not the word I'm looking for. It was ridiculously hot yesterday.
What we complain about, right?
Yeah.
But it was. Our temperatures warming up. We're really moving into a very hot, dry pattern for us, which, as we head later into the season, could be a little dangerous as far as the wildfire potential. So we'll talk more about our extended forecast coming up from the Billion Auto Weather Patio in just a few minutes. Right now, temperatures into the 40s and 50s. Pleasant morning. We have had a few clouds, and that's been able to keep those temperatures up just a couple of degrees. The afternoon's going to warm up to near 90 degrees for a good portion of the area for today. Not many chances of rain in the forecast, but we will outline our potential rain showers coming up in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Matt. Just ahead of 6:34 now on this Tuesday, an update to a story we brought you earlier this week. Yellowstone National Park officials tell MTN News that the man seen walking dangerously close to Old Faithful on Saturday escaped without being arrested.
Now you can see how close the man walked to Old Faithful Geyser in this citizen video. Park staff followed the man as he left the geyser, but he disappeared into a crowded parking lot. And by the time a park ranger arrived, he had already left that area.
A park spokesperson tells us that unlike some other recent offenders in the thermal area, there's no close picture of this man. No one got a license plate number or description of his vehicle. Another man who walked off the boardwalk at Grand Prismatic Spring was caught thanks to visitors' tip. He received a $1,040 fine and 4 days in jail.
He's lucky he didn't get injured himself. That's all we got to say about that. And a Bozeman man is facing a list of charges after investigators say he crashed a stolen truck while drunk driving, all while under the legal drinking age. 19-year-old
Andrew Ewalta was arrested early Monday morning just after midnight. According to court documents, a Montana Highway Patrol trooper caught up with Ewalta down Montfort and School Road after he crashed a white Chevy truck into the ditch. His blood alcohol content, .208 at the time. Among the charges he's facing, driving under the influence and having a revoked driver's license.
And Montana State University yesterday took one step towards getting back to normal after the collapse of 2 of its gyms over the winter.
MTN's Cody Boyer takes us inside the fitness center on its first day of being back open.
5 months ago, the Marga Joseas Fitness Center here on the campus of Montana State University had to close its doors after the collapse of both the North and South gym here on campus. As of now, those doors are reopened, and we were the first television news crew to go back inside.
It's been 5 months of an incredible amount of work.
The debris of the north, south, and upper gyms, along with the snow that once covered the wreckage, is long gone. While the spots where they stood are still empty and closed off, that's not what the fitness center's doors are.
They were out of this facility for most of spring semester, and we can't wait to have them come back.
A large wall now stands where the entrances to the upper gym once were. It's not the only new site, from the new card readers at the front to temporary day lockers.
A tremendous amount of dust was pushed into this space. So not only did we have to get the demolished spaces taken care of, we had to clean the inside spaces of the gym.
Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome. This is like our second home.
Tyler Suter is one of many students who work inside the fitness center. Seeing new life inside is good news to him.
We're making some big plans for the expansion that we're going to have, and it's going to be incredible once it's all finished.
There are still some signs here inside the fitness center that show that there's still some work to be done. These wooden panels hide what used to be where the upper gym was, but the work there, bringing back the climbing wall, a big wall like this, in this case, means a brighter future.
The only things that we didn't get a chance to open quite yet, obviously our temporary gyms, which are still under construction, and our pool, which will remain closed for the foreseeable future.
Engineers are evaluating the pool's roof still, leaving its doors closed tight for now. As for what replaces the gyms, that's the next step.
This is a student-sponsored building. Student fees pay for our fitness center, and so we want to make sure that those users have a healthy amount of feedback in what replaces those gyms.
At Montana State University, Cody Boyer, MTN News.
Now those pop-up gyms near the parking garage expected to start going up this week and could be opened around October 1st. Crews are pumping rainwater out from the rest of the fitness center, which will be open in a couple of weeks.
It's amazing how
Phenomenal.
quickly they got everything back to working order.
Just as school's about to start.
Absolutely. Good timing there. And the city of Bozeman has received an upgraded debt rating from Moody Investor Services.
Yeah, the upgrade reflects Bozeman's steady growth, healthy reserves, and conservative financial practices. The ratings were done in order to address the new bond issuance for the Bozeman Public Safety Center.
Bozeman has been upgraded to a AA1 rating, which makes the bond offering for the city very strong.
The better our bonds look, the better rates we get. So the citizens of Bozeman are actually, they'll be paying these bonds back. So the better rates we can get with these bonds, the more savings they will see over time.
Now, things that could lead to a rating downgrade for the city include growth in debt, shrinking of the city's tax base, and weakening of reserves. In other news this morning, enrollment this year for the Bozeman School District is more than 7,000 students, and this is a first for the district.
MTN Emma Hamilton has more on how the district plans to handle this record situation.
Bozeman has yet again reached a record amount of students within the district. With this school year starting up in just a few weeks, Superintendent Bob Connors has some concerns.
The 7th grade sections over at SAC, Juia are full, and so we're sending kids over to CJ. So it's just a big chess game right now, and that we're trying to figure out. And
hearing that there's these concerns about too many kindergarten and middle school students within the district this year may leave many parents wondering how the district is going to fit everyone into a classroom.
we have 2 rooms that we could utilize to open up another section for another group of kids, if that's what has to happen.
While the district is facing this growth, elementary number 9 is becoming more of a reality with each passing day.
We have 2 properties on the west side that could house a K-5 building. And that's probably a sooner conversation than a latter conversation.
Reporting in Bozeman, Emma Hamilton, MTN News.
Again, in the Bozeman district, classes begin September 3rd. That's except for kindergartners. The kindergartners will begin school on September 6th.
I can't believe it's
Already.
back to school time.
Already.
It's just crazy. It is time for a quick break. Let's take a look ahead on Montana this morning